Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is John Duffin, and I'm an application expert and training instructor at MLC CAD Systems. Today, we're going to talk about training and how it can unlock potential you didn't even know your team had. Let me start with a personal story. Years ago, as an intern, I was asked with modeling a platform structure. I dove in headfirst, determined to perfect every detail, looking up and modeling each structural profile, getting the cuts perfect, and putting the assembly together. I spent over a month and a half, and finally I delivered the project and felt great about it. It wasn't until a long time after the project ended that I learned about a tool called Weldments. Had I known about it, that month and a half of work could have been completed in just a few days. That realization was eye-opening, not because I hadn't worked hard, but because I didn't know that the tool existed. It was a classic case of I didn't know what I didn't know. This experience taught me several things. First, just because you're working hard doesn't mean that you are working smart. Having the right knowledge paired with hard work is game changing. Training on the right materials ensures that you're not just improving efficiency, but also maximizing the value of the tools and processes. The second, training isn't just about learning what you think you need, it's about uncovering hidden opportunities that can transform how you work. And that's exactly what we're here to explore today, how training can help your team unlock those hidden efficiencies, solve challenges faster, and ultimately achieve better results for your business. All right, so here's a brief agenda of what we're going to look at here in this webinar, but we'll explore the impact of training through 4 ways. We'll take a closer look at how training happens in most companies, share insights into how MLC CAD Systems approaches training as a trusted solution provider, and really overview just the solutions that we offer. And then we'll discuss common training challenges. And finally, we'll highlight real-world testimonials and give practical steps to take your team to the next level with training. Alrighty, so how training happens at most companies. Now, I'd like you to take a moment to think about how training happens at your company. Here are some common scenarios that we see. The first is what I call the just figure it out strategy. This is where your team learns on the fly, relying on Google, forums, or trial and error. While this method allows for some quick problem solving, it often results in inefficiencies, inconsistencies, and missed opportunities. Classic cases of you don't know what you don't know. This was me working on the platform structure. I figured it out, but figured out how to use an ineffective way of going about it. Without a structured approach, valuable time is lost navigating incomplete or outdated resources, and teams end up reinventing the wheel instead of building on the solid foundation. I'm a big believer that there's a time and place for independent problem solving, but relying solely on this method can lead to slower workflows, repeated mistakes, and a lack of standardized knowledge across the team. Again, as I go through these, think about which of these currently apply to yourself or to your company as a whole. The next is my very officially named the Hey Bob method. The Bobs are your in-house experts who've been doing this since the beginning of time, or at least it feels that way. They've seen everything, fixed everything, and somehow always have the answer when things go sideways. Team members rely on them consistently, asking questions and picking up bits of knowledge along the way. While this method is great for quick problem solving and important to any team, it can lead to burnout for the Bobs and leave the rest of the team without a structured or full understanding of the tools they're using. Over time, this dependence on a few key individuals can create bottlenecks, slow down workflows, and make work a challenge if those experts are unavailable. It's like navigating with GPS versus relying on an old paper map. With GPS, you have a clear, optimized route guiding you step by step to your destination. But if you're using a paper map and only look at it or reference it when you're lost, you take a lot longer to get where you need to go, often making unnecessary detours, backtracking, or getting stuck altogether. Without a clear learning path, teams waste time troubleshooting issues that structured training could have prevented in the first place. Structured training ensures your team always has the best path forward, reducing confusion, inefficiencies, and the risk of getting stuck. The final method that I'll see is the professional development plan. This is where your team has a structured plan for training to achieve your goals. Let me emphasize that. It's not just training, it's a training and development plan to achieve your goals. It's a solid approach, emphasizing consistent improvement and goal alignment. This method ensures your team stays updated with the latest and applicable tools and best practices while continuously building expertise. To further enhance this, clear goals are set to drive the frequency and content of regularly structured training, ensuring that teams can effectively implement what they learn and achieve these objectives in a meaningful way. A professional sports team wouldn't just show up on game day, and hope for the best. They have structured practice sessions, playbooks, and strategy meetings to ensure every player knows their role. Without structured training, a business team is like a group of players improvising without a game plan. Some might perform well, but the lack of coordination will lead to inefficiencies and missed opportunities. Thinking back to my own experience designing the platform structure, if I had taken a step back and explained what we needed to design to a few people who had deeper knowledge, they could have directed me to create a development plan involving SOLIDWORKS Weldments. I could have spent one day learning the tool before diving in and saved weeks of time. This is exactly why structured training is so important. It prevents wasted effort, ensures your team is using the right tools for the job, and accelerates productivity from the start. Honestly, in some circumstances, the power isn't as much in the actual training as it is in regularly taking a step back and asking qualified people, what could I be learning that will make me more effective at my work? That is the professional development plan. Now, take a moment and think, where does your company fall? Are you at the just figure it out, the hey Bob method, or a full professional development plan, or likely probably a mix of some of these? Now, the more important question than where's your company at is how is it working for you and is it working as well as it could? And we're here to help you just with that to help it be more effective for you. Alrighty, so now that we've looked at how training happens at most companies, let's go to the upper right hand corner and explore MLC Training Solutions as a trusted solution provider. All right, so let's explore some common training solutions that arise when working with companies like yours. At MLC, we're not just about software. We're about delivering complete solutions. Training is a critical component of that mission. We offer a wide range of options tailored to fit your team's needs. As a trust solution provider, we believe training is most effective when directly addresses your specific challenges and objectives. Before recommending a solution, we take the time to understand your goals to ensure the best training fit. All right, so here are some of the training solutions that we offer. The first is some of your essentials public training courses or some of your getting started courses on there. We offer the structured and instructor-led trainings on core software tools such as SOLIDWORKS Essentials and Mastercam Basics. These courses provide foundational knowledge, ensuring that both new and experienced users develop a strong technical base to maximize their efficiency and honestly their capabilities overall there. So some of these core courses to get that good baseline. Now from there, we offer advanced public training courses. These are ones for teams that need to expand beyond the basics. We offer advanced courses covering topics like finite element analysis, FEA, computational fluid dynamics, advanced part modeling, sheet metal design, and much, much more. These hand-on sessions provide deep insights, equipping your team with the skills needed to tackle challenges, tackle them effectively. All right, so the next solution that we'll work with people on is going the more custom training programs. Every business has unique workflows and challenges, and that's why we develop tailored training programs to align with your specific needs. Our team works closely with you to understand your objectives, customize the curriculum, and ensure that the training delivers real-world impact. In these cases, we adapt public course content to align with your specific applications and workflows, and ensuring relevance. With all three of these, they're all live instructor-led courses and can be conducted either online, in person at your office, or at your facility. All right, so the next solution that we have there is what we refer to as extended service agreements. This option is less structured than a traditional training course, but basically allows for scheduled extended time with an instructor. Your team can bring questions on various topics for guided answers and discussions, ensuring ongoing learning support without rigid lesson structures. The last one I'll mention here is on-demand learning with Solid Professor. We partnered with Solid Professor to integrate high-quality on-demand learning resources into your workflow. This allows your team to quickly access topic-specific refreshers on individual concepts to drive your success. Whether your team requires foundational skills or advanced expertise, our flexible and honestly comprehensive training solutions are designed to maximize productivity and business success for you. Alrighty, so now that we've briefly talked about some of the overall solutions that we come through to help there, let's go into our bottom left-hand corner to talk about some common training concerns. All right, so this is where we are talking with people and they're evaluating, hey, should we have training for our team and so forth on here. So one of the ones over here, which you probably guessed on this one, is first off cost. Now, with cost, it's really viewing it as an investment versus an expense. Is that training is not just merely an expense, it's an investment that quickly pays for itself. Without proper training, teams take longer to complete tasks, increase errors, and miss workflow optimizations that could save substantial time and money. From my story at the beginning, I personally experienced this. What took me multiple months could have been completed in just a few days if I had known about and invested in the right resources for training. One analogy is if imagine if you had a loaf of bread that cost $100. You'd think it was absurd. But what if that bread was that bread from Lord of the Rings that one bite could sustain you for an entire day, and that loaf could feed your family for a year? Suddenly, that $100 doesn't seem so expensive. It's all about the value that it brings. And that same principle applies to training. The long-term benefits of a well-chosen training class to fit your needs far outweigh the initial investment. And that's what I said here, the benefits of a well-chosen training class, just having a random class that isn't for your needs, hey, that's not going to, that's an expense, that's not an investment at that point there. All right, so the other common concern we're seeing, which honestly in a lot of cases is even bigger than cost, is the time away from work. Now, we understand that pulling engineers away from critical projects can be challenging. However, a few days of focused training on relevant topics can save weeks or even months of inefficiency. Without structured training, employees often rely on trial and error approaches or the just figure it out approach, which is far more time consuming and error prone. Additionally, training often reveals valuable techniques and tools that employees didn't even know existed. Like the quote I have up on the screen there, Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." In this context, sharpening the axe is equivalent to training. By investing time in preparation and skill development, your team can achieve their goals faster and more effectively, ultimately improving productivity. The key here is making sure that you are sharpening the right tool or taking the right training class. You don't want to be sharpening your tools for sheet metal design if you aren't designing sheet metal. Also, for this time away from work, we offer flexible learning formats to help minimize disruptions. We offer different formats, including online, on-site at your facility, or in office at our facilities there, allowing your team to learn in a way that best fits their schedules and workloads. By talking about these concerns, we start to see that training is not just an interruption; it's a strategic investment in efficiency, accuracy, and honestly, just long-term success there. Alrighty, so now that we've talked about common training concerns, I'm going to talk about some real world examples here from testimonials here from some actual people that have taken training on that. So this first one here is going to be from a company who their manager flew their entire team from Europe for about 6 weeks of custom SolidWorks and Mastercam training. Now, I'll say you don't see this every day kind of thing there where teams flying their whole team over from across the country for that. But here's one of the quotes from their engineering manager that they had here. So it's up on the screen, but says, after conducting extensive research on available SolidWorks and Mastercam training course options, initially considering training in Europe, we opted to choose MLC because their extensive course options and ability to customize training to fit our current business needs. The entire experience was great and very successful. The course content was well structured and the instructors were very easy to understand. And so really at the end of the day, they got the value out of it and they're willing to make that investment really to increase the efficiency. Now, While there aren't a lot of companies willing to fly their team halfway across the world for a class, it does show the value they got out of it. This next one's going to be a little more straightforward. This is from an Essentials at training students. They took one of the SolidWorks Essentials class. But in this one, more or less they're talking about, hey, they knew SolidWorks, but just the efficiencies and the little tidbits that they got there helped them be more efficient. So a quote they have here is, hey, I've done a good amount of SolidWorks modeling before this course and didn't know if it would be too low level. Well, generally I understood most of the items before the course. I still learned so many little tidbits that will make my SolidWorks modeling so much more efficient. And then this last quote that I have, and then we'll play a little video that has some of the students talking there, is from one simulation students that had there with it, and just the knowledge that he gained throughout this course. So he said, instructor was very patient and informative. Not only did he thoroughly explain all the course material as he went through it, but he also showed us some very cool SolidWorks tricks and shortcuts that many of us had never seen before, despite using the software for several years. I've been using SolidWorks for around 7 years and have used simulation for about 4. In the past 3 days, practically multiplied my knowledge of simulation by at least tenfold. Alrighty, so next I'll share a video featuring some student testimonials, and then after that, I'm going to go to the last part of this webinar, just some actionable steps that you can start to that you can take to start benefiting from training.
If you could describe MLC's training in 3 words, what would you say?
Covers it all. Look no further. Yeah, MLC is definitely the class you want to take. If they're offered in your area or an online class, I can't speak to the online, didn't take that one, but the in-person class, I would not hesitate to take another one. Covered the basics, but went deeper in a fun, efficient manner. SolidWorks seems like one of those programs where the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. The Essentials class seems to teach you everything you need to know for everyday stuff.
I'm Shields Taylor. I work for EJ as an automated machine technician. Being able to use the information that I'm learning here to design the tools and features that we need to physically do the job safely and efficiently. So far it's been really good. It's challenging, but in a good way, and it's encouraging me to think while I'm inside the box, think outside the box.
The instructors and people here at MLC have really made me feel at home and taken their time and guided me through. And I feel like I can actually use the program if I walked out here today. I'm just not a number, kicked out to the curb to fend for myself. There is people they're out there to help me.
My name's Tony. I work for Alexandria Industries. Even if you think you know a few things about SolidWorks, you don't. You really don't. So you're gonna learn a few things no matter what. It gives you a correct base on how to use the software versus just going into it and trying to figure it out on your own.
Oh, I love it. Honestly, it just makes me like, whew. And it's something cool. It's just go for it. So I've never used SolidWorks before, honestly, until I got a job from Paris, and they need us to know SolidWorks. That's why they sent us to here. Here is one of the best class for the SolidWorks for the employees.
Robert DeAnda, I work for TriStar Metals.
Ivan Perez with TriStar Metals as well. For me, it was more filling in the blanks, like why are you clicking the button and explaining, the process behind it. Definitely makes you feel like you know everything already. Walk out of here with some confidence.
Yeah, it gives you a lot. Gives you a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Don't matter about how many years you've been doing it still, but since y'all have a lot of updates and stuff like that.
All right, so that video and these success stories really just highlight the benefits of investing in training. Whether if it's improving efficiency, reducing errors, or unlocking new capabilities, training has a measurable impact on productivity and business success. All right, so now it's time to take the next step. You don't have to figure out which trainings would benefit you and your team by yourself. You can visit mlc-cad.com to explore classes, and more importantly, reach out to us and schedule a meeting so we can discuss how training can support your business goals. Again, it's not about just training, it's about training that impacts your business. It's about achieving results. Let's work together and make this happen for your team. And with that, I'll end the webinar, but please feel free to ask any questions, and I look forward to working with you soon. Thank you.